How's it going, guys? My name is Adam Jolly with Cranberry Content Marketing and host of 5-Minute Webinars. Thank you so much for checking out this video. And also, if you've registered for your first 5-minute webinar, fantastic. I look forward to working with you very soon. Now, the whole point of this particular video and this particular webinar is I want to show you guys how to present a 5-minute webinar, particularly how and what to expect from doing a 5-minute webinar, what to expect from me as the host, and what we expect of you as the presenter. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, where we're going to start off with is this first page. This is where we start off with every single video. If you've watched any of the other videos, you know this to be the case. So this is where I, as the host, would introduce you, the presenter. So I would say something like, hello and welcome to another 5-minute webinar. I'm your host, Adam Jolly. Please be sure to tweet your questions and comments to hashtag 5 minutes. Our presenter today is, in this case, for me, Adam Jolly. So by doing so, then I'll say, Adam, what is your big idea? And from there, I would then hit the next slide. By doing this, you take over, and this is your time to present whatever it is you want to share. Just as a point of reference, the big idea is for the competitive personality type. We hit 4 personality types by doing this. The competitive in the first one, the nuts and bolts for the methodical, the why it matters for the humanistic, and the final page is the ending page where we hit for the fourth one is the spontaneous type. And the spontaneous type is how long the 5-minute webinar is. It's 5 minutes. It's not very long. It's not a 35-minute webinar. So it makes it sweet, short, and to the point for those who are a little more busy, which is mostly everybody, and allows them to get a lot of good information within a short period of time. So my big idea is I want you guys to be able to present with confidence and authority through being better prepared with doing your 5-minute webinar. Whether that is being prepared with understanding what you're going to say, also how you're going to say it, and understanding who controls the slides. Can you go over a few minutes? Can you go under a few minutes? In a 5-minute webinar, as far as time is concerned, all those questions are what I want to cover. So becoming more familiar with the role of the host and the role of the presenter, and knowing what to expect and how to prepare, so that you have a better webinar. Therefore, you capture viewers' attention all the more easily. So when I am done with the slide, this is when I will say, as a presenter to the host, next slide, please. And that is where myself being the host, typically with you, this is when I would move on to the next slide. So the nuts and bolts, preparation, it's key. You have to be able to tell your story effortlessly. It has to seem like it's coming right out from the heart, and, making sure that even if it is coming from the heart, that you visually show that by making sure that you understand your cues, keeping it short and to the point with your timeline and your slide transitions, looking at the screen. So with step 2, understanding your cues, the timeline is extremely important because we want to make sure that we're not more than 30 seconds over 5 minutes, and we're not 30 seconds under 5 minutes. So from 4 minutes to 30 seconds, all the way up to 5 minutes and 30 seconds is the range that we allow. Anything more than that, we typically would have to cut out valuable information that you're sharing in order to keep it within the 5-minute webinar timeline. So that's extremely important. The way to keep track of your timeline is by making sure that you have a stopwatch. Or in this case for me, I have a phone that's on silent, so I can see right here, basically in stopwatch format, where I'm at in time. Right now I'm at 3 minutes and 25 seconds. So that means that I only have, like a minute and 35 seconds to do anything before the timeline is past 5 minutes. So back to the third step though, looking at the screen, being bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. If I seem disinterested and I'm not making eye contact with the camera lens, and I'm just looking at my slides because I haven't prepared, and I'm looking at the slides to read off what I'm saying, you're not gonna be as prepared, which will go into why it matters. So we'll save that for later. But being bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you got to make sure that you're looking at the camera lens and that you seem very interested outwardly. You can be interested internally, but you have to make sure that you're interested outwardly in order to really connect with your audience. So that's extremely important. Also, you see at the bottom here is a 5-minute fact 1, and in the next page, a 5-minute fact 2. This is also kind of more for the spontaneous personality types, where you can share an interesting blurb or fact without actually talking about it. You're talking about other things, and they have the time to read that 5-minute fact if they so choose. So next slide, please, Adam. So why it matters. So going back to what I was saying, if you're not confident and you don't seem prepared and you're looking away from the camera lens, you're going to seem less confident with your message. It's just common sense. So being concise and direct in your message is extremely important because it'll help increase your authority and credibility with your viewers. And by understanding what to expect in this 5-minute webinar and understanding how it works, you'll spend more time sharing your big idea and less time worrying about how to do everything. So that's the whole point of why it matters, and why you should take this to a certain extent seriously, so that you have a better experience with your 5-minute webinars. So next slide, please, Adam. So the final steps are going to cranberry.com/5minutes, register and prepare and present, and then have fun. I mean, this is not super high stress level stuff. I mean, really, it's just putting together a few PowerPoint slides, sending it to us, showing up to your computer to present at the optimal time that you set. And guys, if you have any questions, just feel free to contact me right over there down at the bottom is my contact information. And feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions. And guys, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing your next 5-minute webinar. Thanks.